Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are we all going today, people, on this beautiful Wednesday, hump day? And today's live session is going to be, yes, it's an emergency live stream from a lot of feedback that I've been getting. And Wednesdays, it's Wednesday's wisdom. So just waiting for everyone to get on. You know, I've been speaking to a lot of people today, had some very high vibrational conversations, and a few people are getting on now, which is fantastic. And you know, the really sad thing that I'm really coming into perspective of is where so many people are really struggling with so many things in life to a point where they don't know where to go, they don't know who to reach out to. And you see a lot of people that are really just lost, and you see people are looking in the wrong places for help, looking into the wrong people for help, being a person that isn't serving them, always talking and focusing on their problems. And you know, you see this and you hear this so much. Like today, I've already spoken to 15 people since 7 a.m. this morning. Some of the conversations have been very high vibrational, very, just amazing conversations. But there are also people that are really lost and are really needing that help, looking for that, you know, that right mentor or that right path or that beacon of light. And you know, they have been looking in places, but they're in a lot of the places, a lot of the wrong places. So what I want to tell you, I want to share something about what I've been going through in the last 2 weeks. You know, social media is a tool for greatness and evil at the same time. And, you know, most people aren't going to share what they're going through because, oh my God, if other people are going to see that and you can't be real, you can't have problems and they're going to judge. You know, you have to make it all colorful, has to be polished. You know, let's make sure we've got our makeup on and all this rubbish. An awesome distraction from work. Great conversation. One of the beautiful people I spoke to today is Chelsea, part of the mastermind team. So that was fantastic. You know, having that conversation, really blessed to have that vibrational interaction. But why I want to call this a mastermind, and why I want to call this an emergency. It can be a mastermind exchange. Is, hey Ante, how are you, brother? You know, another great person I spoke to today. It is that people do need help, yeah? And there are a lot of people that don't have the right confidence, don't have the right support, aren't in the right environment. And it's really sad because what Dylan said, I really need to listen to you today to find some inspiration, by the way. Reach out and see, this is what I'm talking about. And if I talk to, say, people that haven't worked with me before, if I say 9 out of 10 people don't know why they're on this planet. They don't know why they're getting up or why they're doing this job or why they're in this relationship, and it gets hard. Or there's a lot of people that are getting some result and they're growing, they're moving forward in some sort of perspective, but then if the results don't go to their way, they don't have a strong enough mindset or applying the tools to keep sustainability. And you know, the sad thing, what I've really started to notice, that people are so conditioned on, you know, of what they don't want. They are so conditioned of what's been going wrong. So when you have the conversation, most of the conversation is what's going wrong, what can go wrong, and then what will go wrong. And then when you want to take people out of that and say, hey, what about the positive? What is the solution? You know, everything is meant to happen for the right reason. And it's really hard to get answers out people's minds. Is, well, people want this life and they want that, but what happens is that they aren't putting in the work, they aren't conditioning themselves to move forward, and it is quite you know, it's quite disappointing, but it's actually quite sad, not because of them, but it's just how society is set up. The words of the truth have helped me realize the education is not my purpose in the community service. Counseling and the passion I feel my purpose. Awesome. I spoke to your dad about that. I'm speaking to your dad later on. Dylan spoke to Tony, and I wanted to talk to you about as well. So send me an inbox. We'll get on a call. I wanted to talk to you about some different options, how we can move forward. So another thing that I've been doing today is, well, I've been collaborating. So I've been sending messages to people that are doing similar things about how we can grow together, how we can move and grow, and the rest of that. And unfortunately, the really sad thing is that not many people, they feel threatened. They because whatever they're doing, or the imperfections come out, or they're, you know, some certain things, and it's just like, hey, let's join forces, let's do this, let's do that. And when people can easily show up and say, well, look, I want to help and I'm here to help people, but it's only for their own personal gain. And you're really starting to see that in so many perspectives, is that, hey, let's join forces, because I always say alone we're unique and together we're unstoppable. I have my list for you tonight. Yes, you better. I want it over before the mastermind, and Chelsea knows what I'm talking about. about understanding. I want to get a use of, finding the answers, being selfish to be self-empowered. That's going to be your new motto. So the thing is as well, what people aren't seeing is if you've done something for long enough, like, Michael Jordan's a great basketballer, Bruce Lee was a great martial artist, and anyone that does anything, it's normally they say 10 years to master. So I've been doing coaching for over 10 years, but I've lived a life of coaching and gone through a lot of things for 37. Yeah, I've seen a lot of things that most people haven't. I've unfortunately experienced a lot of things that most people can never say, and they probably will never say they've experienced in their life, which is good and bad. But it's given me the ability to see where people's emotional intelligence, their path, their thoughts, their feelings, beliefs are on the wrong path. And, so people will get in contact and say, oh, look, okay, let's move into the next thing. Let's move forward. Let's do something else. And they, I need to fix this first, and I need to sort that out. And the scary thing about that is that, do you have the results? Are you the expert? Do you know what you should be doing? It's some people are making choices and opinions and decisions on what? I don't feel like it's right. And what it mainly is self-sabotage, keeping people in their comfort zones. That why would you customize or why would you do something different if someone's saying, hey, let's go to the next, let's do this. Oh, I'll get to it. I don't know. I need to fix that. And I really feel like, banging my head against the wall, because I used to be that person that people are going so great and doing so good at distracting themselves from what they truly desire or where they should be going and how they're going to be growing from this. And you see it, like people getting caught up doing all these other things, but hold on, what value are you adding? How are you going to move forward? Is this going to be serving you? So what I want to tell you as well, people, is that there's always going to be challenges in life, yeah? And one of the big things that I've been realizing is that you can't rely on anybody, yeah? And the reason why I say that, I'm not saying everyone's that way. You really need to be able to take life in your own hands, and you really just need to have that tunnel vision of going after your goals, going after your dreams. Stop getting distracted by this person and these glittery things and Bitcoin and the new coaching stuff and this new thing and the rest of it. You really need to start having tunnel vision, and you need to start grabbing your destiny and grabbing it by the balls and saying that's it. Because a lot of people are putting too much energy and focus into the wrong people, yeah? And it's actually really sad that, certain things that have happened in the last 2 weeks that you're seeing, you're allowing people condoning what's happened, yeah? You're seeing people that are turning a blind eye. And I actually said to one of these people, I said, well, it's like, it's like you're advocating or supporting a drug dealer. As long as they give you the drugs, you're going to keep supporting them. And that is some of these mentors and the rest of it that are leading these people into these paths. But my main story and my motivation for this emergency live stream is that a lot of people at the moment are in pain. Yeah? A lot of people at the moment have gone off the path or don't even have a path. There's a lot of people that are basically creating this delusional life because they don't want to hit reality. They don't want to be able to move from that. And it's actually sad. I'm not saying or putting these out or pointing the finger at anybody, but this is what I'm getting from people, that I'm speaking to so many people that are completely moving away from what is their true calling, what is their true power, or people that, yes, it's fantastic. When things are going good, yes, life's fantastic, but when it comes to the crunch, when you've got your back up against the wall, when things aren't going to your plan, that's when character is built. That's when, I just wanted to turn that down. That's when things aren't going right, when there's resistance, when there is, there could be challenges, there could be so many things happening in your life. That's when character is built. And at the end of the day, what you need to understand, and this was my own thing where I love to teach, where I've been going wrong, it is that I'm allowing things that aren't going to serve me take my distraction. I've been allowing things that, that even other people that don't care about my growth or where I'm going, and I've allowed them as a distraction. And it's really sad, because at the end of the day, why would we be worrying about other people, other distractions, other energy that they don't care about us, that they aren't going to serve us? And at the end of the day, you can't control how other people act, what they say behind closed doors, but you can control how it affects you or not. And what I'm seeing is that why am I, the team, and the people that keep their standards high, why are they getting the results? Why are they transforming lives? Why are they moving forward? Is because, something is working, yeah? Dylan goes, as my big Tony says, give up, never won the race. Yes, I love that. Hey, how are you, Dakota? Well, I don't know why I call you Dakota. It looks like Dakota, Dado Boss. I'll call you Malik. You need to change your name, bro. I don't. For some reason, I don't know, it doesn't resonate with me. Malik, I like. So, a lot of these things that I want to talk to you about as well, that life, there's always going to be challenges. And I promise you, I vouch, if I didn't practice what I preach, if I wasn't getting on my coaching course, if I wasn't doing my mindset, if I wasn't always educating myself and growing, then I tell you what, I wouldn't be here. Because the things that I've been through, that have been the challenges, and you know, there was been harassment, there's been bullying, there's been that public defamation. If you guys know some of the stuff that I was talking about, at the end of the day, there are people that don't deserve to be on this planet. There are evil people. There are people that have got a lot of problems in pain, but they go into power because their power takes them away from the pain, but they will always have the pain. Yes, they can smother it with titles, with money, with all this bullshit. But the sad thing is, these people are starting to brainwash other people. So my main goal is, and I don't want to go on a tangent, is that never give up. Don't give up. Doesn't matter what is happening, what isn't happening. Doesn't matter how bad you've got your back up against the wall and you're pinned and this is going wrong and that's going wrong, because you can always find a solution. You can always look at it and say, what can I learn from this moment? What can I learn from this person? What can I learn from this information? What information's there? Okay, great. How can I move forward? What's the solution? And if you can train your mind to see a solution in every challenge, then you will be safe. Because unfortunately, we have been conditioned to find a problem in every solution, yeah? We've been conditioned to see that. We've been around certain people that, you know, that it's hard and I can't have this, or we do certain things to create a identity. So my Wednesday wisdom and this emergency, because there's a lot of people that are on here that need to hear this, and later on I want you to share this, guys. You know, there's a few hundred people on here already, and I want you to share this out to the masses. It is that, are you okay with going in circles? Are you okay with getting distracted? Are you okay with, you know, people that they don't really know what they're doing in life, so they're making it up as they go, yeah? Or are you okay with people that don't want to help others? Because what I want to ask you is, what are your standards? What do you stand for in life? Do you just stand up to get up and go and do a job, then come home and wipe yourself out on the weekend? Or what do you stand for? Dylan goes, it's the yin and yang, good and bad, good within, bad and balance. 100%. So, you know, what I really want to get into your hearts and get into your minds and have that into the mind and heart interconnection is that, you know, you need to ask yourself, how am I adding value to the world? How am I being that degree of difference? How am I showing up to be a person that the world needs? Because there's enough people just existing. There's enough people taking. There's enough people pretending that there's someone to give back. But what are you doing that's empowering others? What are you saying that's saving lives? What are you putting in there to be the bridge to be able to move forward? Because guess what? There are a lot of people that are lost. There's a lot of people in pain. There are a lot of people that I have been discovering, especially this week, and I've been one of them, that have been getting distracted by things that aren't serving us. Because guess what? Yes, you can come to a retreat for 6 days. It feels great, like some of the guys that have been on here. And then when you go back, not do much and think that life's going to change. Or what you can do is that, you know, people that I just don't understand is that anyone that is not an expert, that hasn't got the results, is speaking to another expert that has the results, has been doing this for 10 years, saying, well, nah, I'm not going to take that path. I'm not going to jump there. And it's like, do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to jump off here, but I don't want to parachute. I'll be okay. Yeah, but then you hit the ground. I said, well, it's too late. And the reason why people do this, and there's probably a few people on there, it is either because you're so conditioned from going without, so conditioned to self-sabotage, so conditioned to just do something to fuck up the greatness, or you're so conditioned to not get the result, to keep yourself in your comfort zone, that you don't know any better. But what I say to you, it is that you need to look deep into your hearts and look deep into your soul, that what can you do to become a better person? Be around the right people that congruently can help you, that can have the change. People, not because they've got certificates and they've gone and done this and that, that people have been through hell and back, because that is the most powerful qualification you could ever want. Yes, you can go and do a 2-week course and get a coaching degree. Yes, you can go and do an NLP course and think you're a mind wizard. Yes, you can go and do some fucking psychology and the rest of that. Most psychologists need, you know, they need help themselves. So the thing is, and I was watching this video today about the understanding of what Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, the people of Instagram, Snapchat, and everything else, how they understand how we become addicted to social media. So with social media, the way it's set up, the colors, everything is set up to keep you addicted. And it's like the pokies machine. It's like a lever. You've got so many things to click on here. And every time you click on it, every time there's a like, every time there's a diss, there's a love, whatever, there's a message, you get a secretion of dopamine. Yeah? And the dopamine is a feel-good. Dopamine is you become, it's that feel-good hormone. It's that chemical in your brain that we keep becoming an addict for, and that's the dopamine in cigarettes and alcohol and all the rest of that. So the thing about this, what I want to tell you people, it is that it doesn't matter what you're going through. I want to ask you something. Are you okay with the results that you don't have? Yeah, and the reason why I say the results that we don't have because we can always grow. Are you okay with, people say, oh, I don't want to be rich. I don't want to be healthy. I just want a little bit of this and that. But if you had $1 million, would you take it? If you had that body energy, would you take it? If you had that family and that partner, would you take it? Yeah, if you had that team, of course you would. So social media is chasing the promises of saying the change. 100% right there. So, again, I'm going to anchor this into you. The emergency and the understanding of the urgency of this emergency live stream is that what I've experienced the last 2 weeks and over my 15 calls today over some amazing people, it is that people need help. You need help. Everyone needs help. Even I need help. I've got coaches. I've got support casts because I know there's been times this week I've spoken to my parents and my partner and I've been in a really dark place, but I acknowledge where I've been. I acknowledge how I get out of there. Yeah, I know how to get back on the path because you use the tools. You can't keep talking about what you don't want and something's going to change. But when you realize how powerful your thoughts are, what it is creating and manifesting, now if I say blue, I'm already in the process of manifesting something blue. That's how powerful your mind is. We are pure manifestational creatures. You need to understand this. And our dreams, our goals, our desired outcomes, the thing about this is that life gets in the way, yeah? Life has been created to take us away from our desired outcomes, as you guys call dreams. So what I want to give you and what I want to leave you with, that yes, we make mistakes. Yes, we get distracted. Yes, there's times that we're way below our potential. We say the wrong things. We let our emotions and feelings, take us into a bad pace, or we let our conditioning, we get weak, we cry, we get angry, and we say the wrong things. Okay, learn from it. Learn from it, but recondition every day. Get distracted on things that are going to empower you. Everything that comes out your mouth, make sure it is empowering you and the people around you, yeah? That everything that you're doing today, you want to be making, as I put in one of my posts later, is to be your masterpiece. Let today be your masterpiece by focusing and programming your mind from the moment you get up to the moment you go to bed. Understanding with every conversation, every interaction, every training session, picking up the pen, picking your nose, going to the toilet, absolutely everything that you do, you're empowering people. Because I'll tell you what, 2 weeks ago, I was distracted by this person. I allowed myself to get in a very dark state, and I allowed myself to go back to my old conditioning, yeah, which was a lot of anger, which was a lot of pain, which was a lot of, it was toxic, and it wasn't me. And, and I say that, like, I don't say sorry about it, but, what I'm going to say, because sorry, that you're not sorry, just don't do it. I learn from it and you move on from it. That, people that say you're sorry is just a word for cowards. You're not really sorry. Hey, you know what, just move forward and be able to remove that. Always empowering yourself and others will recondition your programming. Yes, 100%. Tommy's a good friend of mine. He's a personal client. He's been at the retreats and, he's going through some challenges as well. And what we need to be focusing on, make sure we've got the right people, is focusing on where you want to go, focusing on the solution, focusing on getting A to B. What is the bridge? How are we going to move forward? Because guess what? And I'll say this again. Are you okay with the results and the desired outcomes you don't have? Are you okay with going in circles? Are you okay with struggling? Are you okay with just getting by? Are you okay with getting distracted and being busy doing nothing? And I'll say that again. Are you okay with being distracted and being busy doing nothing? Because people want to be busy, but at the end of the day, if you want to have a baby, do you go and run around a woman, or do you have sex with the woman? Do you know what I'm saying? And these are the things what people don't understand is, well, you're getting distracted on things about this outside beauty, but deep down, you're an ugly person, yeah? Or what about you fixing yourself up inside, and then the world you see without, that will start to happen. This is the biggest thing, and this is a very basic thing that I teach, that there's an inner world, yeah? The inner world is your programming, it's your thoughts, it's your feelings, it's your beliefs, your behaviors. Action is the outside world. Unfortunately, people's inner worlds, and what I've been realizing, and you know this, and I was like this last week, that your inner world is fucked. Your programming is focusing on toxic people, this and that, focusing on the wrong thing. Your thoughts are negative, aggressive, whatever. Your feelings are making you feel absolutely shit, and you're distracted, and the feelings are feeling down and depressed. Then your behavior or your beliefs are like, oh, life's hard, I'm not supposed to be successful, I take 2 steps forward, I take 3 back. You know what I'm saying? Then your beliefs and your behaviors are aggressive, they're distracted. Then you're expecting to get a result with your actions. So what I say to you people, start living in your truth. Start representing yourselves. Take the time out to understand, okay, am I okay with the results that I'm not getting? How am I going to get to A to B? How can I be a better person? Because you know what people are really good at? Tagging famous people. Hey, look, I'm with this person and that. I'm here, I'm doing at this event. At the end of the day, how is that adding any difference to the world? All that is doing is feeding your significance. Or I'm at this basketball game. Or I'm at this charity event. At the end of the day, how is that helping anyone? Yes, it's great to share that. If that's part of your brand, then okay, we understand the strategies. But how are you making a difference? How are you giving back to others? How are you putting that energy? How are you being a giver instead of a taker? Because yes, social media is for the glitz and glamour, it's for the fake people and the rest of it. And that's why I'm showing you this, is that you guys maybe would have known that 2 weeks ago that I was in a really, I allowed myself to really go back to my dark conditioning. I really go back and I let things affect me. And then I went, okay, I'm focusing on somebody that doesn't really care about doesn't really care about someone. But at the end of the day, you got 2 things, yeah? You get someone to do something to this person. How is that serving it? Or, you know what goes around comes around, yeah? So these are the choices that you need to make. You've gone there, let them know about it. If this organization, these people don't want to do anything, then that's up to them. And the scary thing about that is that these people are showing up and saying, hey, we want to help you. We want to transform your lives and we've got your best interests and the rest of that. But guess what? When yours, mine, everyone else's character is challenged, when there's resistance, when their backup is against the wall, when it doesn't feel great, that's when your truth is going to come out. That's when my truth's going to come out. That's when other people's truth's going to come out. When it's not, when it's not colorful, when there's no spotlight, when there's not money going in your bank account, when it's all the opposite, that is when real character, that's when the real people want to start showing up. And that's when you look to your left or right and see who's there. Because in times of distress, times of resistance, the people that are still standing around you, left and right, they're the people that you want to make sure that they are still around you, okay? And the thing what I'll say to you, social media, Facebook, Instagram, it's all for show bags, yep? The girls and getting their pictures and look how many followers they got, and the guys with their muscles and that. But at the end of the day, how is that adding any value to the world? How is that teaching people to be better people? How is that saving lives? How is that stopping suicide? How is that teaching people, yes, okay, people get money for it and the rest of it, and they do put food on the table, but how is that character building? You know what I mean? Like the health industry, not saying everyone's like that, but they are so focused on their appearance that there's no character, there's no structure, there's no depth, yeah? Because it's just image, because then people are going to get significance and respect from people that, okay, I'll just concentrate on the outside. But what about having balance? Or people that have had broken parts, people that have been bullied, people that, become successful and they want to be able to grow themselves. And how do they get there? They grow themselves through money, but deep down that's power. The way they're going to get power, and these people teach it. They say, well, you want people to respect you, you want people to look up to you, you want people to do this and that and the rest of it, then and then you create that. And then what you're doing is you're creating you're creating people with vengeance, but you're giving them power. So the thing what I want to leave you with all today is it doesn't matter how hard you think things are. If you say they're hard, they're already hard. If you say you're tired, you're tired. I want you to start to be very careful of the words that are coming out of your mouth. I want you to be starting to stand guards at the doors of your mind. You're a GPS system. Every morning and every day, you want to be programming your mind of where you're going forward. I want you to understand that I want you to be able to move forward, and I want you to be programming your GPS to where you're going. What is your destination today? If you don't know, you're making it up. You just drive around like a car, and if you're not aligning your tires, you're going to hit a pothole, or you're going to drive around and you're not going to get any fuel and you're going to be sitting there. guess what? And your people are saying, geez, that's like my, you know what I'm saying? Or if someone puts you on autopilot, that's you going to work. So autopilot is you just, you know what I mean? It's cruise control. You're just going places and you're just sitting there. And it's not really, you know, it's not really great. So every day, stand guard at the doors of your mind. Program your GPS, because we are computer systems. Have those feelings to feel the right way. Write yourself into existence. Get a great understanding. And it doesn't matter what's happening, because this is the thing which is the truth that I want to leave you all with. Whatever is happening and not happening in your life now is just perfect. And I'm not saying this just to feel your significance. This was very hard. And, you know, my spiritual coach and my healers, they told me about this, is that it was right. When you can believe that everything that is happening and isn't happening right now, it's going to happen when you stay on the right path a lot better, a lot more sexy, a lot more stronger. But you don't go, oh, it's not going to happen now and I'm not going to be successful. It's going to happen. So you need to stay on the path. You need to dig deep. And if you can grasp onto any words that I say with the heaviness of why I'm saying it, then I want you to listen to the next part. The world, life is set up to distract you from who you are. It's your life is there to distract you from your desired outcomes, because if you can stay on the path, and there's no difference between me, you, Tony Robbins, you know, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, you know, whatever you call success, is that we're all humans. We all bleed, we all eat, we all go to the toilet, we all sleep. But it's what they focus on. It's who they become. It's how they apply themselves in, you know, I was putting up a post before. In one day, it's 1,440 seconds or minutes in a day. Yeah, 1,440 minutes in a day. It's how you apply yourself or not. But if you can program yourself, like if you've got a navigation system and you program your coordinates every day, and you just go, you don't need to think about it. You use less fuel, you use less thought patterns, and guess what? Bang, you do it. You achieve your goals easy and effortless. And I'm going to say this to you one more time. The reason why I'm holding this emergency live stream, and yes, I call it mastermind, is because of this. Are you okay with the results that you aren't getting? Are you okay with just getting enough? Because you know what happens? We get distracted. We get distracted on the life that doesn't fulfill us. We get distracted on people that don't support us. We get distracted on TV. We get distracted on news. We get distracted. But once you can stop the noise, stop the chatter, stop the scatter, and start focusing on who you want to be every day and have conviction, because as there's a thing about stress is created, and stress happens when you don't have enough structure or you don't have the right strategies. So stress comes into your life only when you start to go, well, I've got stress because I need to change my structure and I need to change my strategies. Yeah. And that stress is like a mechanism to tell you, okay, something's not right here. Okay, I need to get more structure, I need to know more about it, and at the same time I need to change my strategies. Okay. So every time you're feeling that feeling, which the body we call it an emotion, which gives us the feeling, and people call it stress. Hey Lily, how are you, sister? You know, that's what I want to teach you, is understanding the change your structure and then changing your strategy. Okay. So people, what I want you to become obsessed with, not just have an idea, is okay, where aren't you getting the results? Not where you're failing. Failing's a lesson. You don't fail, you just learn. Failing's just a word that puts people down. Oh, I'm failing. It's about, okay, you look at all areas of life. Where do you want to be? Oh, I don't know. Well, then stop complaining. Put the work in, press pause, and start putting the work into where you want to go. And start to understand that. Move the things around. Put in the energy. Get the resources. Ask the questions. Make the connections, but do it the right way. And keep moving forward and growing. Because people get caught up with things that don't change, and opinions and arguments and all that stuff. I did 2 weeks ago, and I'm thinking, for what? For fucking what? Because those arguments, those opinions just wasted energy. Do you think that that person on the other end actually really cares? You need to care and love yourself, because guess what? No one else will. You know, yes, there might be family, great. Yes, there might be a partner, but at the end of the day, you can't even rely on them. You have to rely on yourself to be strong, to be able to move forward. And this is what I'm going to leave you with. Again, if you can grasp onto any of the weight that what I'm saying to make sense, to grow you into a better person, to a better man, then I want you to hold on to this. No matter what situation you're in, no matter what's happening or how bad your backup is against the wall, your pin, how many things are going wrong, I always want you to be able to push yourself through and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How do I move forward? What is the session? How can I get stronger from this? How can I make sure this doesn't happen again? Putting in, and if you don't want stress, people, then you have the right structure, you have the right strategies. Yeah, you put those into place, because yes, like myself, life is going to hit you and hit you and hit you, and that's when character is built. I tell you what, you know, people call me the comeback kid, because there's a lot of things in my life that probably you don't know about, that I keep getting hit and I keep getting back up. You know, people let you down, okay, great. Then, you know, what's the point of moving on from it? There's another billion people. Go and make connections with them. You know, that happened. You know, you keep showing up, because at the end of the day, whatever happened last week's last week. But what people want and what people take notice of is you now. Show up and being you. Don't worry about being polished. Don't worry about being perfect. Don't worry about being professional, whatever that word means. Be you, because we need more people to be you. We need more people to be themselves, because so many people are losing themselves, being this, to look like that, to weigh this, to weigh that. And guess what? Because if you say to that person, are you truly happy? Are you truly fulfilled? Fuck no. They're not. They create money, they create branding, they create significance, they create all this false stuff, but truly deep down, you don't even have to ask them, are you truly fulfilled? Because you can see it. And when someone asks them questions, you see how they react. They react like a cat on a hot tin roof. Yeah? And you see it. I experienced it myself. So people, don't give up. You can have anything you want, but you need to constantly be focusing on what you want. You need to constantly fill your mind with what you desire, and you need to be having that awareness of making sure that, don't talk about what's been going wrong. Don't talk about what can go wrong. Don't keep talking about, you know, what you haven't got. Keep forcing your mind and your thoughts into everything you want. Be selfish to be self-empowered. I'll say that again. Be selfish to be self-empowered. Every thought, every feeling, everything that you say, everything that you do wants to be about what you want. And I know this. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, I was focusing on all the things that were going wrong. I fucking didn't want to be here, and all this stuff was going on. And so many people, you know, turned their backs. You know what? The universe cleans out the shit, because you know when you're paying for gold, what comes to the top? Gold. What goes to the bottom? The shit. You keep panning for gold every day, people, and you're going to be able to sift out what's good and what's bad. And Tommy goes, this is making the popcorn go off. And that's it. We call them popcorn, brain orgasms, you know, aha moments, whatever tickles your fancy. And Tommy, you're a legend, mate, and love you. So everyone, have an amazing day. You know, like I said, I wanted to hold this. There's a lot of you on there that will learn from it. A lot of people will get on later. I always say, alone we're unique, and together we're unstoppable. Don't give up. Don't settle for average. Don't just settle for just getting by. Settle for greatness, because the world needs more greatness. And everything that you're doing in your life, ask yourself, how am I making a difference? How am I adding to the world in a great scale? How am I empowering someone? But firstly, you need to do that within. When you can do that within, it happens organically and is an amazing side effect without. So have an amazing day, guys. I'm sure this added some, you know, obviously it's Wednesday's wisdom, but it is an emergency live stream. And yeah, look, I'm quite emotional, to be honest with you guys, because it's like speaking from the heart to the heart. And I'm sure you guys can feel it just in here. So have an amazing day. As I always say, you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you are here listening to me, Lee Bundy, the CEO of Team Beast Mode International, the messenger of strength and the truth. And remember, never give up, because no one else can be you, and that's what's special. Be you.